All right, well, there's a lot of issues that U.S. manufacturers need to consider to improve their competitiveness, and many of these are things that we've discussed often on the show. We just discussed right here. As a matter of fact, higher quality is one, greater efficiency, better use of automation, and just like Dirk was saying, addressing the skills gap through training and apprenticeship and encouraging STEM education. Those are all things that manufacturers need to be aware of. Well, one thing that many times goes unrecognized is actually making the business itself grow over time and improve over time. A lot of that involves finding and retaining customers. Quite frankly, sales and marketing, they're so-called backroom functions in many organizations that kind of are sometimes sub-optimized versus other things, but really they make the difference between long-term success and failure for manufacturers in many, many cases. You got to find new customers. The post 4 more marketing action items for manufacturers recently appeared on the Manufacturing Innovation blog, and we linked out to it in Monday's issue of the Quality Digest newsletter. As you can imagine from the title, 4 more. The article followed up on an earlier article titled 4 about marketing action items for manufacturers. So these are 4 more, and both appear on the Manufacturing Innovation blog, which is published, of course, by the Manufacturing Extension Partnership Program. Now, marketing, Dirk, you may know this is something I know a little bit about because helping our advertising clients generate leads that are going to turn into customers, it's a big part of my job. And it's no different for manufacturers. They need to target potential customers and draw them in so they can establish long-term relationships with those potential clients. Now, the advice published here is valid. I would say mostly, to be a little honest, it's rather vanilla. A lot of the things that are here. I mean, like embracing social media, paying attention to search engine optimization, SEO, or adding video to the mix of your content. Those are all things that many marketing conscious companies have done for years, a decade or more. I mean, we've certainly been doing that for 10 years or so. One thing that's deceptively simple, however, is the first point on the list, and that's develop valuable content pieces. Of course, we're an editorial-driven media company.
So for us, that's what we do.
For us, that's what we do. But for those of you out there who aren't doing that, it's an interesting thought experiment to think about what that means. And the key term here is valuable, right? I mean, what is valuable? Well, to answer that question, you need to understand who your customer is. I mean, who is that person? What does he or she want or need? What problems is the customer trying to solve? And if you start asking those questions, you're really well on your way to developing what's known as a customer persona. We talk about that all the time here, which is the first step in understanding your customer's journey toward, or unfortunately in some cases away from, your company. I mean, let's face it, you can have a great product, you have a great service, but if you don't sell it, if you don't market it properly, you're definitely leaving money on the table. So you want to consider your company from the perspective of your customer and that person's journey, and then you're going to begin to see the ways in which you can maximize your reach in obtaining, not only obtaining, but retaining customers too. It's really important stuff. I mean, manufacturers spend so much time manufacturing, doing what they do, improving their quality, but finding customers is important too.
Right, well, and I think the whole customer journey thing, I mean, we're hearing that's becoming a more prevalent buzzword, is you really have to understand really at a deep level how your customer uses or wants to use your product, and sometimes it's in ways that you never expected, or they try to use it in ways you never expected and maybe run into roadblocks or that sort of thing. So you've always got to take that journey yourself in order to understand what the customer's doing, and that helps you kind of formulate even how you're going to market.
And it starts with a persona. I mean, the journey starts with who is that person? What is that person's problems? How does that person's problems connect with what my company does to address those problems? Then you're well on your way to understanding the journey better and doing a better job of reaching customers in a way they want to be reached with good, valuable things that they want to get from you, rather than just pushing ads at them. You don't want to really ever do that. You don't want to push stuff at them. You want them to pull and bring it into you.
Exactly. Well.